All right, next you need to take off the muffler clamp. It's on the left side of the bike. We don't have a socket big enough right here, the tools being in the house, so we're just using our closed end wrench here. 12 millimeter. All right, now we've loosened the clamp. You don't need to take it off, just loosen it. And we'll get ready to take off the muffler. All right, now we're going to take off the muffler. First thing you need to do is you need to take off what they call the footrest hanger. You need to take this screw off here, or bolt. You need a 12 millimeter behind it. Very interesting in our video and also in the TaylorMade video, you'll notice how easy this is. In reality, all three of these screws are in there pretty darn tight, so we've pre-loosened them to make it look a little easier for the video, but they're in there pretty darn tight. So there's three screws. One you need to have a backing to take it off, the other two just come right out. Right. Now you notice that we have our cable that we removed in like step 1 up there. Just kind of thread it down here. This assembly will lift out of the side. Cable comes down underneath it. And then the muffler just drops and then slides off the header. Voila, as they say in France. Very good. Set that aside. Next thing we need to do is we need to move the heat shield from the back of the footrest, so lift it out and just take this bolt off here.
There's a nut on the back of it, just be aware.
Yes.
So you can hold that with your finger.
Off it comes. And then there's one more down low. All right, next you take your bottom cowl. You have to take this little silicone piece of rubber tape-like thing, and on the left side, kind of putting it up against where the hole is, measuring it up where the edge of that hole is, down on the inside. You just put it in there. That'll be important when we put everything back together again. All right, so again, you're going to put the footrest back on. Tighten down the first two. And remember, they were really hard getting off, so put a little wrench into it to tighten them back up, nice and tight. And now we're going to put the rear one on. We're just going to let it hold the clamp right there and let it rest there before we tighten up the exhaust on the header. So let's go do that next. All right, next we want to actually tighten the muffler on over the header. We use a 10 millimeter socket here. We actually have one of those, which is good. Now you'll feel it start to grab. You need to get this thing on pretty tight. It actually squeezes the muffler metal, so to speak, crushes it onto the header. This has a tendency to work itself off, so it needs to be pretty darn tight. Very good. Excellent. All right, there you have it. Now let's give the muffler a little wiggle. Make sure it's not loose in any way. It's nice and solid. Excellent. All right, next step. Okay, now we want to put the bottom cowling in, but if you were unlucky enough to have your little rubber grommet piece fall out of either side, make sure that that goes in to here. So snug it up a little bit Hopefully the bolt will be able to catch it. A little hard to get your finger back in there when you get it in. All right, now down low, you need to get all the tabs in. There's 4 tabs, 2 side tabs and 2 front tabs. All right, on the top part, a little tricky. Just take a look at this. This part here actually goes into that hole there. So watch. It slips in like that. Just as easy as that. All those little tabs are in. 1 back here and 2 up there. Let's see what it comes out. Those all need to get gotten in. All right, if they come out like that, you'll need to put them back in again while you're wrestling with the cowl. Not that big of a deal, just takes a little finesse. All right, so we're gonna put the front 2 hex bolts on. Remember this first one, on the front 2 have that little rubber grommet on it that you have to be careful and fight with a little bit. If you're nice and gentle, you might be able to catch the threads.
Lucky me.
Lucky Nick. All right, now we're gonna put the trim piece on. And this is a little tricky. First couple times you do it, you might find that the muffler does not quite come out of the exit hole the way it needs to. So you might have to go back and physically manhandle and move it around a little bit so that it fits. It's very important that it not touch any of the carbon fiber because it would burn it. That could lead to other serious problems. The little carbon fiber tab goes on the back.
12 mil.
Get a 12 millimeter wrench for your stock bolt and nut. Right there. And tighten this part up. Very good. Again, check the clearance. Clearance, all good. And then take the stock bolt here and connect the carbon fiber fairing piece to the stock. Very good, nice and snug. On the rear trim piece, looking over from the left side, there's a little hole. You need to put the, called a well nut. It looks like a little rubber piece with some threads in it. You need to push that up through the hole. Then take your screw, connect it. And then when you screw the screw in, that will expand the well nut. And make the connection. All right, in your goodie bag there's a little piece of plastic, and what it does is it goes in between the fairing, the original stock fairing and the new carbon fairing. Kind of makes a nice seal between the two of them. Just like that, no big deal. Let's take the spacer. Fits in. It's a little nib. Make sure your washer's on. Goes up against the attach point on the bike. And then tighten it up. Very nice. Excellent. And I think we're done. All right. Let's see what it sounds like.